Dear friends, as a long-term sponsor of the European Sunday Alliance, I'm proud to support the goal of ensuring the work-free Sunday.
I get in there, you're going to be using that power at a level that you've never used it before. It's the biggest thing missing. We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country.
Hi everyone, I came across some information today that I really wanted to share with you. So I'm going to show you right now what we're looking at. And this comes from the Catholic Church in the European Union. So if we look here at the title, European Sunday Alliance issues new manifesto, promoting a work-free Sunday for all. In the view of the European Day for a Work-Free Sunday, 3rd of March, the European Sunday Alliance issues on Friday 1st, March 2024, a new manifesto stressing that synchronized resting time is an effective tool to counter loneliness and highlights its importance for the mental health of workers. Sounds all nice. But some of the quotes we're going to read after this because I want you to see the inner workings of what this means and how severe it means the situation actually is. But first, let's listen to the video.
Dear friends, as a long-term sponsor of the European Sunday Alliance, I'm proud to support the goal of ensuring the work-free Sunday. A synchronized week time of rest is very important in our fast-paced world. The work culture of modern society doesn't leave enough of time to enjoy with our loved ones. Children spend more and more time online. This not only affects their relationship with parents, grandparents and siblings, but also seriously impacts their development and mental health. Mental health of adults is at stake too. As a member of the Committee on Employment and Social Matters, I repeatedly call on better work-life balance and more quality time offline, time spent with family and friends. Therefore, on the occasion of the European Day for Work-Free Sunday, I encourage all stakeholders to jointly continue our efforts to turn the idea of a synchronized day of rest into reality. It is essential for well-being of all citizens and better functioning societies.
Okay, so it's just really emphasizing rest and family and all these things that seem really nice. But again, this is the Catholic Church in the European Union, and there is a manifesto promoting this. Here, the Alliance is a broad network of more than 100 national Sunday alliances, trade unions, employers, organizations, civil society associations, churches, and religious communities in the European Union. So what does this really mean? Well, we know from prophecy and all the things that we talk about on Amazing Discoveries that this is a very prophetic event. This isn't just about, purely work-free Sundays. So I want to go right now to some quotes to get a little bit more context, and then I'm going to show you another very interesting clip. With darkness coming to light. So what I mean by that, darkness coming to light, is in this first quote, we're going to see something very interesting. God has revealed what is to take place in the last days. Well, that's very good news. God told us ahead of time that we will know what is going to happen. We just need to study. Well, let's see what's going to happen. That his people may be prepared to stand against the tempest of opposition and wrath. So there's going to be some strife. Those who have been warned of the events before them are not to sit in calm expectation. So we're not just supposed to sit back, wait for all the events to arrive, and do nothing about it. We're actually supposed to do something. In calm expectation of the coming storm. So this is referenced as a storm. And we know that Jesus referenced back to Noah's flood, the great storm that took over the whole world. And we're coming to another antitypical storm. Comforting themselves that the Lord will shelter his faithful ones in the day of trouble. So we just sit back, we know that Sunday law is coming. And yes, it's going to start as work, labor things, maybe climate change and all these different avenues, but we're just going to wait for it to happen. And, if we love Jesus, we're going to be okay. She's saying this is not the case. We are to be as men waiting for their Lord, not in idle expectancy, but in earnest work. With unwavering faith, it is no time now to allow our minds to be engrossed with things of minor importance. While men are sleeping, Satan is actively arranging matters so that the Lord's people may not have mercy or justice. The Sunday movement is now making its way in darkness. So this is coming through darkness. But if we're already seeing the tentacles spreading, if we're seeing these first stages, the initial stages that don't seem so religious necessarily on the front, that means that it's coming to light. And if it's coming to light, there's a lot more in the darkness that we don't see, and we're a lot farther along than we may think. The leaders are concealing the true issue. So they're putting it forth in, a not so strong manner. And many who unite in the movement do not themselves see whither the undercurrent is tending. So there's going to be people going along that they don't even really understand what this whole movement is about. But that's why it is our job to warn these people. Its professions are mild and apparently Christian, so they seem good and beneficial. But when it shall speak, it will reveal the spirit of the dragon. Where does this come from? This comes from Revelation 13, where it says that this beast will speak like a dragon. It is our duty to do all in our power to avert the threatening danger. We are supposed to use all of our power in order to curb this movement. We should endeavor to disarm prejudice by placing ourselves in a proper light before the people. We should bring before them the real question at issue, the real question. Thus interpreting the most effectual protest against measures to a strict liberty of conscience. We should search the scriptures and be able to give the reason for our faith, says the prophet. The wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. This was written over 100 years ago. God knows exactly what's coming. Even if, we'll go back to the other slide, it's making its way in darkness. God revealed this to us ahead of time so that we can prepare and that we can be warned. Because God doesn't let us go blindly. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. This is very interesting because it's comparing wicked from misunderstanding. And wise shall understand. And you could in turn use that word wise and say righteous. So you have the wicked are those who are believing error, and you have the wise who are believing truth. And why are they either believing truth or error? Because are they studying or are they not studying? And are they following people and institutions or the Bible and God? They should work more earnestly to delay as long as possible the threatening calamity. If in our land of boasted freedom, a Protestant government should sacrifice every principle which enters into its constitution and propagate papal falsehood and delusion, well, may we plead, it is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. Some may think that because it has been revealed in prophecy that our nation shall restrict the conscience of man, it must surely come. And that if we make an effort to preserve our liberty, we shall be acting the part of unfaithful servants, and thus come under the condemnation of God. But this is not the case. Just because God said that eventually this will happen doesn't mean we are supposed to go along with it. Because we're not supposed to go along with error in any way. Even if God says that error will happen, we should not go along with it. God warns us that there will be false Christs, but that doesn't mean we should go along with them either. So we need to make sure that we are standing up and warning people about this. Now, I want to show you another very interesting clip, and then we're going to go back to a couple more quotes. Now, this was from NRB. This was in Nashville just 1 week ago. And we might go a little bit more in detail into this in another video. But I just want to show you this one short little part here showing how actually urgent and that all these things are taking place. It's happening so fast and everything's happening all at the same time. We need to be aware of the events.
You have such power, but you weren't allowed to use that power, and you're now allowed to use it. I get in there, you're going to be using that power at a level that you've never used it before. It's going to bring back the churchgoer. I mean, you have to see, I don't like the charts when I see charts where they're going in the wrong direction. We don't like that. We're going to bring it back.
So he says here, this power that you're going to have, and this is going to bring back the churchgoer. So just like in the quote, she said that it'll look Christian and it'll look positive. And this is what's happening here. But you're going to see.
I really believe it's the biggest thing missing from this country. It's the biggest thing missing. We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country.
Okay. That's all I'm going to show of this right now. But he really said a lot here. And the thing we have to understand is when a politician comes and is saying things like this, it's connected to policy and procedures and law. So when he's saying this, you will have power back. What power is this? This is power to actually enforce religious laws. So this goes back to Revelation 13, where it says that actually the church and state will be mingled. We read in Mrs. White's writings that the toes of iron and clay represent the mingling of churchcraft and statecraft. And that is exactly what he's talking about here, that it'll come from a Protestant government. It'll come from someone who looks like they're doing a Christian service, but it's in so darkness that we can almost not even see how sinister the work of this is, and that it'll end up speaking like a dragon and persecution will follow. So let's go back to our quotes here. This peril now threatens the people of God. And what are we going to do? Can we not assist in lifting the standard and in calling to the front those who have a regard for their religious rights and privileges? God calls upon us to awake because we're sleeping. All the virgins slept in the parable of Jesus. We're all Laodicean. We need to be waking up. We know the end is near. We know that the prophecies are fast fulfilling, which show that we are living in the close of this world's history. We are so close to the end. We need to be aware and we need to be ready for those events. Revelation 13:17. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. We will not be able, if you're on God's side and you don't take the mark of the beast, to buy or sell. This is a very serious and solemn topic for the people of God. Because if we take the seal of God, we will not be able to buy or sell. And what does that mean for God's people? It's not just sit back and relax, like she said. We need to be in action, preparing for the storm that's coming. We weren't planning on doing these videos quite yet, but there's so many events happening on the news and around the world right now that we just felt a real urgency to start sharing this with you right now. So we're going to have a series that's going to be ongoing. You can post questions in the comments below regarding the Sunday law, mark of the beast, end time events, and we're going to be going through point by point little studies comparing what's happening in the world today, all on this topic, and how we can get ready, because that's a very important point. We don't want to just talk about all the bad things. We want to give the things that we can do and the things that God has told us to do in order to get ready for this. So thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And I pray that you are blessed by this and that this gives you a fervent desire to get back in your Bible and to study so that we can be wise servants. God bless.